senior faculty members, HPI staff members, students, and all who join us online today. A very good afternoon to all of you. As you all know, we have all gathered here today for the Srikumar Banerjee Memorial Program, which is being organized by HPI, and respected Professor Srikumar Tiwari, Director IIM Mumbai, has graciously agreed to be a part of the program and will agree to. Now, not taking much time, I would now like to request DHPI, Professor A.K. Tyagi, to please deliver a welcome.
Respected Professor Srikumar Tiwari, Director IIM Mumbai, and Chief Guest of the Day, Honorable Vice Chancellor Professor Kamachi Mudli, respected Professor R.B. Grover, Founding Director of HBNI and our guiding force, Dr. P.D. Nayak, Immediate Past Dean, Sri Sahu, Registrar HBNI, my academic colleagues and my admin colleagues. It gives me great pleasure to welcome you all on this occasion of Dr. Srikumar Banerjee Memorial Lecture. Dr. Banerjee was born on 25th of April 1946. He did BTech from IIT Kharagpur in metallurgy and then joined 11th batch of BRC Technical School. 23rd May 2021 was an extremely sad day for all of us when all of a sudden we lost him. In fact, just a day before, he called me on Saturday, Sunday 23rd May, all this happened. He has left behind a very rich legacy of body of work. He was a gifted scientist and had a wide range of interests such as shape memory alloy, development of and investigation of phase transitions, electron microscopy, quasi-crystals, just to name a few. He was a strong supporter of self-reliance in nuclear sector. He had very strong association with SBNI right from the day it was being conceptualized way back in 2003. He was member of Academic Council of SBNI, chairman of COM, and we are fortunate to have him as Chancellor of SBNI also. In order to pay tributes to Dr. Banerjee, SBNI initiated this program of conducting a lecture by eminent scientists on this occasion to pay our rich tributes to this great soul. Today we have with us Professor Tiwari, who is going to enlighten us on logistic science and technology. Sir, I would like to thank you once again for kindly sparing your time to be with us. I know we all know how busy you are. We are overwhelmed with your kind presence here. Let me welcome you all once again. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for the cooperation. May I now request Honorable Vice Chancellor HBNI and Professor Mudli to welcome our esteemed guest of the following please. Thank you, sir. Now I would like to request Honorable Vice Chancellor Professor Mudli to deliver presidential remarks and introduce our speaker.
Very good afternoon, Honorable Director IIM and Vice Chancellor of TIS Mumbai, dear friend Professor Srikumar Tiwari. I am very delighted that he has come here after a long spell of time that we have been inviting him. Professor Grover, our founding director, former Dean, P.D. Nayak, Registrar, Dean, and my dear colleagues from HPNI, and all those students and faculty joining from outstation institutions. A warm welcome all of you for this fourth Dr. Srikumar Banerjee Memorial Program. And so it's going to be a very interesting topic that we are going to listen today. Logistics, science and technology. Science and technology is very clear to us. We are all in this. How logistics will have science and technology is a very interesting thing. logistics is generally connected with economics. Indeed, today we are a very proud country, India. We have just moved from 11th place to 4th place in the world economy. One of the key factor was logistics and supply chain management. Without which, logistics is nothing. Movement of goods, flow of goods from place to place, and associated supply chain management. And I'm very happy on this topic. We may all think that it is, something that is very standard thing. Of course, it is labor intensive. Depends on the availability of, the movement of various goods with, paper processes, telephone calls, many things. That's what we think logistics means, movement of flow of goods. But actually, today, if you see, there is a report, McKinsey report, if you read it, how India has moved from 11th place to 4th place. One of the prime factor is logistics. Because of logistics, 15% cost has been reduced in the movement of goods. And this is primarily because of digitalization and modern approach by the Indian government. You will all remember it started 20 years before when late Honorable Prime Minister Bihari Vajpayee ji, he is the person who made this golden quadrangle, connecting Delhi, Calcutta, Mumbai and Chennai. That was the first thing that whole country can be traveled through that. Today, if you look at the communication with respect to roads and transportation, goods or anything you take, it is India is #1 leader. And world's highest, I think, network of road is from India, as per the statement by our Honorable Minister for Road Transport, Nitin Gadkari ji. All this development that has happened has progressed and then made India today to be biggest country, and the economy grows 6.5% because all the goods that are produced at one place, whether it is agricultural good or manufactured components or any product that is manufactured from anywhere to anywhere, excellently it is moved not only internally, outside the country also. This is one of the most important things. Logistics involves everything. And any supply chain, right from raw material to the final management of waste, it also depends on the logistics. I think I should not preempt into what he is going to talk, but as much as little I know, I thought that I would share with you. And today there are phenomenal things are happening, and Government of India with the digitalization is introducing 5G, digital twins, cloud computing, warehouse management, big data and analytics, robotic process automation, autonomous vehicles and drones, blockchain, IoT, and machine learning. Everything is put into this logistics. That is where science and technology that is coming in. And it is very fortunate that we have an eminent professor like Banerjee Tiwari, and he has got excellent blend of both manufacturing and engineering technology plus the management. And I'm very proud that he has accepted our notice, and he has come here to deliver this special address on the occasion of the Dr. Srikumar Banerjee Memorial Program. I will give a very brief introduction about Professor Banerjee Tiwari. Professor Banerjee Tiwari is currently the founding director of IIM Mumbai since August 2023, where he was also served as director of the National Institute of Industrial Engineering, NITI, Mumbai from 2019 to 2023. And he is also the Honorable Vice Chancellor of the Tata Institute of Social Science. You know how brilliantly he managed. Once it was a collapsing institute, today he made it into a premier institute, and it is performing excellent. Ministry of Education is certified, and they are the one to first submit the memorandum of agreement with UGC without any issues. Professor Banerjee Tiwari was higher academic grade HAG professor in the Department of Industrial and System Engineering at IIT Kharagpur. He is actively involved in research relevant to application of optimization, modeling, decision support system, and data mining in logistics, supply chain management, and manufacturing research. He is associate senior editor of several renowned international journals. He has led numerous projects and consultancy assignments with prominent industry and government organizations in India, including Indian Air Force, Procter & Gamble, Tata Hitachi, and several ports located in eastern India. In addition, he has aggressively engaged in collaborative research with partners from many international eminent institutions like the Loughborough University, UK, Institute for Manufacturing at University of Cambridge, Warwick Manufacturing Group, UK, and Durham University, UK, University of Connecticut, USA. He is an author of more than 360 articles in leading international journals in this specific area of industrial system engineering and supply chain management. And no, it is a very important thing I want to tell you. He has got a chin of 86. In this area, it is, I think, very rare to get such a number. He is a fellow of the National Academy of Sciences, India, Indian Academy of Sciences, Indian National Academy of Engineering, the Institute of Industrial and Systems Engineers, USA. He is also recognized with the David E. Becker Distinguished Research Award from the Indian Institute of International Institute of Industrial and System Engineers, USA. I'm very proud to have him here to deliver this fourth Dr. Srikumar Banerjee Memorial Program. And before I request him to deliver the talk, I invite him to pay homage to our Honorable Councillor, late Dr. Banerjee.
Now I would like to invite Professor N.K. Tiwari to deliver his talk, which is Logistics, Science and Technology.
So first of all, Madhur,
Yes, sir.
I pay my deep respect to my friend and Vice Chancellor of the PNI, Sir Banerjee, and Hanuman, because he is sitting here of the institute, other faculty members and students from this great institution. And I'm so lucky that I have been invited to address some of the topics of my interest and which are normally known as a common sense kind of on the memory of a person who was our chairman board of governors, and we have been very closely working with him. And ultimately, I was 2 years as a board of governor member from Senate of the IIT Kharagpur when he was my chairman. So I announced it. I pay my deep respect to Banerjee, and we are scientists, and I think they can do are enormous, and it will be a great occasion. And also the culture will bark and follows to honor the stalwarts, really commendable. I salute all of you for doing such a memorable thing for a great scientist like him. Then coming to the area of logistics science, actually, I can say it's a very common thing. Like suppose you want to send something from one place to another place, you require 3-4 things. Like what is the means of transportation? Where you are going to purchase that, where you are going to store it, how are you going to supply it, and how are you going to deliver it? Means there are four elements involved into that. So the element, huh? Acha. So something which is slightly away from the factory, they are called upstream, and something where you want to send the material, they are called downstream. This is a very common nomenclature in the supply chain. And at present, you can see the total volume of supply chain is somewhere around 12 to 13% of the GDP of it. And most of the developed countries, they are having 8 to 9% of the GDP for their logistic cost. So you can imagine 8% and 12% or 13%, such a big difference is there. And this amount comes out to be somewhere, if you convert it, 3.5 to 4 lakh crore rupees. Just imagine by bringing down the cost of logistic means supply of goods, services through rail, road, multimodal transportation, through air, shipping, etc. You can bring down the cost to such a level, which is almost more than 100 institutions like BARC can be created by such a huge amount of money. So saving in the logistic is very important thing, and accordingly, what are the steps to be taken? What science and technology going to contribute in that directions? So some of things I want to highlight. So if you see this diagram, I have just prepared what are the size of market of logistics in the country. And very clearly it shows that global logistic market size that is projected somewhere by 2028 comes out to be around 14.08 US trillion. And what it involves? It involves vehicle running, it involves warehouses, it involves the factories from where items are being made, and everything transportation. Transportation and storage and delivery of the goods, that is you can say. And size of logistic market in India going to be around 57 lakh crore rupees by 2030. And what are the popular mode of transportation which is used in logistic? One is very popular, shipping. Currently, in the last 5 years, if you see, India has almost double their airport size. Whatever it was, they are almost double the airport. Our number of ports have gone up by more than 1.52 times. The volume by shipping has gone up almost 3 times. This is happening when you are fifth largest economy. Now you become fourth largest. Just imagine the moment your position come to the third. See the city of Bombay. How many vehicles are moving? It will be very difficult for you to travel 10 kilometers in 1.5 hours. Why? Because of the congestion. And this congestion is why? Because people's purchasing power, people's number of vehicles, transportation network is not in proper shape, and that creates this kind of bottleneck. Same thing going to happen when the people have become more, affluent and their purchasing power increases. Then you can imagine what the condition of the road, rail, network, etc. So the common focus is that we have to minimize the cost of logistics. And at present, if you can see, the highest share means 70% of goods and services are to be done through the check road. Means सड़क जो है सबसे ज़्यादा culprit है, through which we sell most of our goods because there is very good network we are having. Second, if you see, it's a rail. Then we have a water, and then somewhere pipeline for petroleum products basically, and then air. So this way, we have the distribution of the transport system in the country. Then and this is next. Yeah. Here, I'm trying to see that how much workforce, what type of workforce we need for meeting the requirement of the, developed India, which we call it as a Viksit Bharat. So, just I have developed the picture, the current data that I published recently, that at present, if you see the working population in the country, which is there in the range of, say, 18 to 60 years, then this comes out to be almost the total population, 64.9% people are in good condition to work. And among them, if you see how many are available for the employment, means their employable talent, then you can see out of this total figure, 64.9, only 51.25 is, you can say, available for them. And if you see each sector, what are talent shortage, it is because in transportation and automotive, this is somewhere around 77%. In communication services, 78%. Industry materials, these are the data which is captured recently to see that how much shortage of the skill and talents are required in different domains. It is based on the emerging technologies that we are going to use. So if you see in supply chain side, if you see our cumulative growth rate that is coming up somewhere around 12% is being forecasted of logistics side. Then at different level, what are the people we need? Say, for example, at entry level, warehouse associates, forklift operator, these are the number of notations. Middle level, logistic manager, supply chain analyst, warehouse supervisor. The moment you go senior level means supply chain director, operations director. These are some of the designations which are very commonly used. Now, once we know that, then why there is talent shortage? Reason is very simple. Our planning side, which needs massive digitization, was not possible 4 years ago. So I realized that if you want to construct a road or construct a building or construct a statue, it will require at least 1 year time to plan properly that what way it will go through, how the line will pass, how the highway like Sambardhani will be created. So how the digitalization can help in planning this? Sir, I actually remember somewhere around 21, a digital platform was created in Ahmedabad using the geospatial technology called Bijakian, Bhaskacharya Institute of Geospatial Technology, led by Mr. TPC. And it was under the Ministry of MIT, but collaborated with the DPIIT. That is the branch in the Ministry of Commerce. So this institute was totally devoted to take the data from our entire country, each and every taluka, each and every village level type of things. Even your institute is also made by them with the help of longitude and latitude of that one. So anything you want to construct a road or you want to construct a institute or anything, you require data like what are things are there, where is the water supply, where is the electric pole, where is the fiber optics cable, where are the other things, and how much coordination needs to be done with the other departments. So this was such an issue that beloved and departed soul like Srikumar Banerjee Sahab was very much bothered. In IIT Kharagpur, there were 2 railway lines. And if you want to go there, many times up to 2012, sometimes when there is a train is passing and both the gates were closed, it used to take 45 minutes, 35-minute time to pass these 2 lines. And thousands of the people in a month used to miss their train or plane because of such kind of system. Then they asked, what is the problem? Why it is not solving that you cannot have flyover or something like this? The reason was that there were 3 departments. The railway line belongs to Railway. Institute belongs to Ministry of Education. And land belongs to
State government.
Ministry of West Bengal, and they are not talking each other. And they are talking also that who will give the money. A total cost was 75 crore rupees. Then somebody approached at that time the finance minister, our Pranab Mukherjee sahab. Then he intervened and then talked to all the three parties along with the current director who was quite dynamic at that time in Prasad. And finally, sir, 25 crore, 25 crore, 25 crore given by each unit. That is state government 25 crore, railway 25 crore, Kharagpur 25 crore, and finally bridge was constructed over bridge, and problem was solved. But now to do something, there is digital platform called PM Gati Shakti National Master Plan. Their entire digitized situation is there. Suppose you want to give a road like Sambardhan. You know how much time it took to plan the whole entire road? It was constructed in record time of 2 years, but planning was done in a week's time. Because wherever you want to pass, all that information were there in Gati Shakti platform. It was shared. Each and every new breeze, rare, tree, everything was known in advance, and that is why the planning became easy. So this was a glaring example of digitization, that how this PM Gati Shakti National Master Plan, and then many of the other units, like how you can share the information, like building world-class institutions, how you can minimize the reduce the cost of logistics, how the local goods globally competitive, transportation of all this can become very easy. And just one more example I want to cite. Suppose you want to send something from your current place to, say, Guwahati or say Vijayawada by road, by rail. So what happens? Initially, you have to go and talk to nearest railway station that how to book the car or how to book the scooter from this place to that. Then 2-3 times you have to talk to them to help you actually when to load your scooter or something on the particular ongoing train. As if it is your headache only, railway has nothing to do with this. They are doing a lot of gratitude to you by taking your scooter and sending it to that place. But this thing become very simple if the entire digitized operations are there, that they are a third party, they can come and take your scooter, they can load it on there. Even damage is there, they can give you the charges also. Delivery time can be told, but that requires a digital platform. So many of my students who are earlier working in the top companies like HUL and others, they left and they have made several startup companies. One among them is Let's Start in the Bangalore. Now it's a 700 crore evaluation company. They have only one thing. Neither they have a single truck, nor they have a single driver, nor they have a single warehouse. Only they are having a digital platform where all the drivers, number, address, driver license, everything is there. All the vehicle owners' details are there. All the supplier details, like who is sending cold drink, who is sending all other things are there. So they are linking third party and fourth party together and earning money, and more than 400 persons are involved in this job. So imagine that how many people are working, and it is believed that in coming 5 to 6 years, the total population of the people who are working in logistics sector is currently 2.2 crore, and this figure will increase 1 more crore by the year 2034-35. Why it will increase? Because so much logistic cost, so much logistic operations are being taken place that there is a massive need for people to work in this. Then the Government of India formed a committee, and it was chaired by NSC chief, and it was done by us only. But of course, members were there from premier bodies, including what is McKinsey. They are also there. So this report we submitted to the government, and here we identified that what are the key areas where we require the intervention and what is going to happen by 2047 in a phase-wise manner. So that study we did, and we found that some of the emerging and employment generating opportunity in transportation, warehousing, e-commerce and quick commerce, agri-food supply chain, automotive industry. And then we found that 77% of the employers had talent shortage in this area. And now question is, what are the talent that you need? They require mostly technology advancement, digitization, machine learning, IoT devices, data science, blockchain. These are technologies which are being needed actually in those fields. And the future job market, which is going to have the expertise like how the supply chain resilience is there. Now question, what is resilience? During the COVID time, you have seen what was the power of resilient supply chain. That how vaccine is coming up, how it is being administered, how the poor people were getting the food items, and despite nobody was coming forward, managing this magnitude of the distribution of the food, medicine, and that shows that if your storage policy was not there to store the food item at least for 2 years in advance, imagine what could have happened to the country during that 2 years period. So, how the storage policy, how much to store, how much to buy, when to buy, what mode are you going to buy, what is lead time of the buying of results, and how shortage can be handled, how the rationing of the things can be done. So, all these things are now data driven. The moment become data driven, they require more and more person to handle all this. So that's why the role of a lot of science and technology is going to play into this system of the particular domain of logistics. Then these are the some of the sectors I mentioned which are very critical role in the logistics. As you can see, multimodal sector. What is multimodal sector? At present you can see there are road transportation, there is a sea transportation, there is a air transportation. And you see most of the goods and services coming from outside are through the containers. And these containers comes at the port one. And they need to be shifted to the different places for distribution of the goods coming from outside and for your goods that you want to export to outside. Then question is that, do you want that anywhere there should be some park or place where all the three devices should meet together? Like something coming from train, something coming from ship, something coming from road, and you have to send something to the other side also. So such a position where digital market is there, but space is there to place the incoming goods of all sorts, coming from the ship, coming from the air, coming from the road. They need to be properly housed, maintained, and recorded. So for recording, you require ERP. For maintaining the knowing information, you require digitization. For scheduling that, okay, this train is coming up, this vehicle is going on, this flight is taking off. So biggest multimodal park is going to come up near Noida, and that airport that is coming there is Java. So these are the things which are currently 35 multimodal parks have been created. So this you can imagine that where we are moving and these are different areas, still they are not touched properly. Like say, there is an airport opened 3-4 years ago in Darbhanga. One airport similarly opened in near Jharsuguda. And there was another Jorhat. If you see the traffic requirement, density and improvement compared to metros, if you go to the smaller cities, they are the places where highest demand is coming up. From where 6 years ago, 7 years ago, it required 5-7 years hours time to reach from Patna to Darbhanga. Now just there is a flight coming connecting with them. This there because there is a requirement of the movement of the traffic transportation system. So sector are this. Then what skill set we need? Data analytics. Data we are getting from the warehouses, data we are getting from the factory, number of tracks, number of trains, location, how you can collect flights, and which kind of ship is coming up, what is the size of ship, how many containers are there in the ship, how many automated guided vehicles are there on the port, how they are being connected through the warehouse operation, dark store, and how your own, earlier, this terminology is changing very fast. Around 20 years ago, we call go down. The moment word go down, name you come, you give picture of that is how it smell is going to come up. Then slight improvement has come up, warehouse. Warehouse looks quite good. Then comes fulfillment center. Now all the robotic arms, automated guided vehicles, cranes, everything handles rake-wise goods, correct? So barcoded items. So right from beginning, suppose on the table of the operator sheds give the item it get picked up. So picking density, picking frequency, all those things now being analyzed by some top-notch scientists who are efficient in handling the operation research, efficient in handling the machine learning, going for the large language models, using the CNN, DNN kind of model to handle such kind of scenario. So the skill set that we need in this sector is the data analytics, machine learning, route optimizers, knowledge graphs, where you can connect, like Cesare told, it's a chain. Chain means what? Which connects the different entities, correct? You see there are different things that are connected, then connecting part is called chain. What is chain here? Factory, supplier, supplier, then warehouse, then delivery place, from delivery place to the customer. So all this form a chain, and this chain has a speed, and that speed is governed by the particular transportation device being used. So you can see this is the technology side that you require geospatial technology for creating platform like Bijack. You require blockchain for secure data transfer so that no one can tamper the things. Otherwise, tomorrow somebody will send some food items which is junk, and you will not be knowing that from where it has come out. Then IoT is very common, autonomous vehicles. I've seen the kamal of autonomous vehicles. Now, due to recent conflict that took place in the Operation Sindoor, the military strategists are thinking now that whether there is need of tank or not. Because the way in which drone operations has taken shape. I was also reading an article where I found that each and every household in the Ukraine is making drone. And so cheap that $300 only one good drone you can get with 8 to 10 kg of warheads that you can use. So just calculate how this autonomous vehicle is going to acquire the different shape. In Bombay, you can see around 7 o'clock to 9 o'clock. If you can take a route reaching from Hawaii to airport, minimum 1 hour it keeps. And that portion, even ambulance is going also, that they have to face and get problem. So therefore, in such a small locations now where airport some item want to send, then best way is that the drone supply, drone route, correct? They are being shot very much that they can be used for hospital supply, emergency supply kind of things. Modi ji has created a new set of operators, 1 lakh drone Didi. Drone Didi is being used in the villages now to throw the insecticides, pesticides, etc. in the farmer field. So imagine now what kind of things we need actually to manage the emerging logistics science need. So these are some of the challenges of supply chain, like say cash flow. Just imagine what is the problem in cash flow. Huh? Is there any problem? Problem is there. Because someone takes currency, someone sends a dollar, someone pay through RuPay, someone pay through Google Pay, someone wants to transfer online, digital. So all this thing need to be there for someone to record and someone to address. Like say, I was in US for 3 months actually, once one time. So I paid some money. Then I said, okay, there was no change. They said, okay, if I give you one more, you can return me $5. No, that's not possible. Because they are not very smart in maths and operations. They only everything they need calculator. Correct? So skill set is more on the digital side than on the manual side. So question is cash flow through different modes we cannot handle. That too when it coming from the millions and millions of the operations, then how the banks, how the different devices and different entities which are running the show, how they can manage. Cash flow management is one of the biggest. Then lead time. Lead time means time of placing order to receiving the item. Correct? Very complex, because if you use truck, 1 time. Small truck, less time. Bigger truck, more consolidated cost will be less, but time will be more. Correct? Like say there is a business called consolidator. Third party consolidator, they are being used in a big way in the international trade. Like say there is a company, which is a company of my chairman called Al Cargo, more than 5,000 people are working. And you are the man who purchased the bungalow of Rajesh Khanna in 148 crore rupees. Correct? But if you go and see, not a single ship, not a single truck, not a single car, not a single thing is there to do the logistic work. Everything is on the third party way. Correct? And he has 4,000 container on lease from the company. 4,000 container. And what he did? His job is only consolidate the goods and services from the 180 country and transporting it to a different country. And then in turn manage all those things through the workflow and through all kind of digital devices. Correct? More than 5,000 very top qualified players from the IIT, IIMs and other institutions. So this way, how the next world is going to happen through maintaining the lead time, connectivity, data management in all size areas. So these are the big challenge that is there in logistics side actually. Say demand volatility is there one thing which is creating a lot of problem. Like say simple thing. There is a mill which produces the rice, but they do not know tomorrow how much rice is. That's how many suppliers are going to need it. But if they know that this is going to be the requirement, and they can plan in advance, they can simply purchase number of trucks for that day, they can hire the number of vehicles for that day. And you know very well, if you go and hire 1 truck, rate will be different. If you hire 10 trucks, rate will be different. Because volume always quantity discount is there, correct? So logistics science also tells how to write a better contract. And trust me, companies like PNG, which I have handled, they were losing every year 20 crore rupees by selecting a wrong number of different types of trucks for sending 400 of their goods and services. So how to pack a truck with the weight wise, with the volume wise, that there is very good OR and heuristic and you can say illusory computing models have been applied to resolve this problem. So which we see from outside, correct? But inside that, there is a strong need of the science and technology to address those. Anyways, these are the global logistics challenges. And then these are the different areas which also posing a threat to the logistic business, like cyber security. Currently, one of the company I know, 3 months they were not able to do any business because their site was hacked by the third party from the Nigeria actually. Correct? Global competition is there because many items are there which we are also supplying and which are also purchasing from different countries. Then adoption of the emerging technology, there is always inertia. Suppose something comes to you, you do not know. 10 years ago, if you talk to ERP, people will abuse you. Its name was ERP means employee rahe paresan. Correct? But nowadays, name has changed. ERP means employee rahe pasan. Correct? Because everywhere data is available. So this depends on the place and time of the use. Correct? Mobile has changed everything. Correct? Similarly, the labor shortage and skill gap. At present, you find, go and see that how many of you can handle a code that is in a GitHub for optimization. But if you, those who are using optimizer, Simplex and all those things, you can solve. But there is a 100% code available GitHub. You just take that code, correct it, and use it. But we don't have that one. So you see large language models, how the prompt engineering working. Many of the report that you have, it's a gist and it's a very simple format understanding can be possible by using the ChatGPT 4 or some sort of other models that you can tailor. That is going to happen. The question is that the new way of writing the report, new way of storing the data, all those things are going to come up, and you have to build up that skill set, that how to give the proper prompt and command for that. So increasing the automation, low cost of handling all these things, they are going to play a big role. These are the different technology which we are using in the logistics and supply chain and everywhere it is being used, like say generative. My friend, this area has so fast changing. We started using the machine learning for solving the problem of Pradeep metals inventory item of 400 type of steels. They are using 600 different items and they require 104 types of steel and around 98 they are purchasing from abroad and minimum 3 months stock they keep. So we solve their problem. We use traditional model of LSTM and XGBoost and simple neural network model to categorize the problem. But now nobody uses all those things. Everybody using the DNN, CNN and all those things for solving the problem. So by 2020, machine learning changed to DNN and CNN. Immediately the requirement has come up for the large language models. So between large language model to agentic AI only took 7 months time to see that. You just see how the chat GPT 1, chat GPT 2, 2.5, 3, 3.54, correct? How fast this evolved. The very difficult see within 1 year. Such a large deep sea just recently came and NVIDIA couple of series here. So just imagine that how fast this technology is moving and how much we are adopting that one just see. Cyber security and blockchain, we are facing this. Additive manufacturing, one very interesting area. The moment it become popular, then you can minimize logistic costs by making so many things at the delivery side, then making everything at the factory side actually. Then autonomous vehicles and drones, robotics and automation. So most of the purchase, distance and agreement and order placing is done now called normally this very popular term, called the bot, correct, cat bot, space bot, order bot. These order bots were what? They are now nothing but automated devices. They are digital twins of the purchasing process. And now this is the problem that we are all have to work. Like say cloud computing. I have purchased from Amazon Web Services the license, paying around 8-9 lakh rupees every year to them. And any big data we are handling at our laptop. But earlier same thing go and 19 lakh rupees we spent to build a Hadoop platform. Correct? So such a massive change in the area of technology operations are taking place. Then these are the future evolving skill sets that just we have supplied that people we need to know for transport managers, what are the communication set of skill, how the AI, machine learning, IoT devices, and these are the different areas where we need emerging jobs like AI ML specialists, digital marketing people, data analytics, prompt engineers, organization development specialists, product managers, and old stuff like warehouse operator, door-to-door service. This will all have the redundant jobs now. That is going to happen like this. But after this, I got to close my lecture because this is where just I want to explain you. You see the bottom side of the diagram is supply chain entities like raw material supplier, manufacturer, distributor, logistics, retailer, and customer. They all have some kind of data which is captured by reader, sensor, camera, meter, robot arm, QR code, etc. These are the, you can say, things which capture the data. Then this data becomes the information sharing through some of the devices like communication network, you can have Wi-Fi access point, IoT gateway. Then this information converts into some sort of block of the information knowledge. So you require data cleaning, data integration, and then you require distributed computing system for filing all these things. So fast storage of the data comes into picture, and of course, the whole game is of storage and computing by the clouds. Then we have the 4 kind of analytics, means where earlier only statistics and diagrams were used, descriptive. Then some sort of more data mining kind of things came into picture, diagnostic. Then when neural network and other models came into picture, predictive. Now the prescriptive means where both optimization and prediction both can be solved together. Optimization means where we have to minimize the cost and large number of objective function and constraints can be written. And then you use linear and non-linear models to address it. Whether different kind of exact algorithms or heuristics or eventually computing tools can be used to solve those problems. But now both you can integrate prediction by all the machine learning tools, optimization by the traditional models or deep reinforced learning, and then get the outcome and minimize the decision error. Where earlier we were minimizing the simple error, now decision error is to be minimized by this kind of process. And then you can see last one, which is supporting and superseding everything is the generative AI. So these are the technologies which are being changing currently. And I hope that with this, there will be massive improvement in the logistics and supply chain system. And that way, new set of jobs, new set of the people, are those who are there, all they need to be training and retraining, capacity building. That is why you see in the country now, these terms are becoming very common, capacity building programs. Or some say people are calling it transformative programs. There are a lot of training is being given on how we can use the AI models, large language models, etc. for our operations. We are providing training to large number of people in the Gati Shakti. We have aligned with one MIT professor to come and take at least 4 courses in a year. And more than 700 to 800 people join that courses online actually to learn all these things in the logistics sector. And salary wise, package wise, as I am telling you, our minimum package is there in this domain is around 28 to 29 lakh rupees, whereas finance is the highest one. But on an average, people are getting this kind of very good jobs in this sector. So I'm sure that advent of more and more this newer things from technology side to the logistics, to the warehouse, to the fulfillment center, to the delivery side, and to interface of digital interface between the different devices. This will lead a very massive change in the system, and we can come down, reduce our logistic cost to level of 8 to 9%, and that is our target. And that way, our GDP also will grow, and I think that way we can move closer to the third largest economy or second largest economy of the world. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you so much, Mr. Tiwari, for a very interesting talk. And now the session is open for discussion.
Sir, we could learn so much from your talk on this area where most of us don't work. So it was really a massive learning experience. About this logistics, science and technology, one example I thought I will share with others, you may be definitely knowing. Last year in February, we invited Professor Balram Bhargava to deliver Tombak roti at BIRC. Professor Bhargava was the DG of ICMR during that COVID time. And during his time, only COVID vaccines were developed. In fact, this movie Vaccine War, Nana Patekar is the main person who acted. His role was of that of Balram Bhargava's life only. So he gave an example wherein vaccine was delivered to the remotest island, unconnected by any means, including boats, by drones. Yes. And this island had hardly 300 population, not more than that. But they also were as much citizen of India as you and me sitting here in Mumbai. So this is the power of your talk which you explained. This example is remarkable really, in this hour of crisis. Even remotest island people residing also were not ignored. And this kind of advanced technology was used. So just a comment, not a question.
Please just to say one small thing. Normally, those who are working in the Western countries, they feel that we are not very advanced, we do not know much all these things. Only we produce good boys and send it to US and UK. That is normal notion is there. But you are talking in COVID now, our supply chain was fantastic. We have given vaccine, treated people in a very nice manner in time. कितना लोग आपके यहाँ? Total Europe population 10-12 crore. Learn from us 140 crore we have treated. Yes. More than 100 crore people vaccinated. And immediately after vaccine, they were getting their things listed on their mobile phone. बताओ आप क्या था क्या? Digital. मैंने question किया. Tell me, have you taken your card? When you have taken vaccination, show me. उनके यहाँ manual देते. Correct. Here we are very digital. मैंने देखो, this is new India. अब गाली देना बंद करिए. गाली देना बंद करिए. Proud Indians.
Thank you so much, Mr. Manoj Tiwari. It was a wonderful lecture. I have 2 points. The point one is that in one of your slides, you mentioned that with time, by 2034, you said 51.4% are employable. Okay, now what is the impact of all this digitalization? I know in other sector also it is being discussed. Logistics is labor intensive. So far in India, they are successfully doing it. And introduction of this digitalization, how far this employable people will get reduced or whether it will be nullified or it will increase. There is a argument also, school of thought going on that will increase. First point. Second point, I have also seen one with respect to the economy and logistics comparison. India is around 4,000 crores logistics, fourth place. Whereas US is around 28,000, seven times, almost 7 times. So from fourth place to go to first place in the economy, do you think it is it's a formidable task, and how far logistics will help in that? Here I know so far in the travel, we are very proud of all our logistics. How tough it is going to be now from fourth to first, going that route is very tough, difficult with respect to all.
No, actually, what happens, there are two things, sir. One is that is how the rate of economy will increase, and also the positions in the logistics. So actually, expenditure-wise, our logistic cost is pretty high. And that is why with the advent of all this technology and digitization, we want to reduce. So currently, we are poor than any of the European, China, US. There are 8 to 8.5% of the GDP, whereas we are around 11 to 12%. Then we want to make it to 9%. The moment this 9% comes up, sir, we will save at least to 3 lakh to 3.5 lakh crore rupees actually, per annum, which can help us actually to other sector of the economy where there is not much growth.
But if you see,
Now coming to the employment side, sir.
1 minute. If you look at our GDP is around, I think 4 trillion. So this 5 lakhs will 5 trillion now. Go towards 5 trillion. So how much this percentage will contribute to that?
Sir, this is, you can say around 8%.
Yes, 8%. By 2030, our this also will lead to some higher number of GDP will go to.
That is why certain people are saying you are fourth, but you will go third. Because the moment this is creating problem for the GDP growth.
Okay.
Logistic reduction will help you to increase your improving economy. And that way you can see more and more positive expenditure will be there other side. Currently, which is waste. And now coming to the employment side, sir, what happened? I remember earlier in the transport side, there was a company called Transport Corporation of India. So in my village, those who are high school failed actually, they were going and joining TCI, places in Pune, Hyderabad, Guwahati, everywhere else is doing business. Some manual, mota registered, name of the field truck driver, name. It takes around 5-6 days time to send a vehicle from Bombay to Allahabad or Bombay to Banaras at that time. So there was no anything except only telephone, sometimes landline telephones were there. But now you can see on same road, people are large number of people with the connected trucks, their operations are being taking place. Minute to minute operations is there, you can see it. GPS GIS is completely all see. Volume of transaction has gone many fold compared to what it was 20 years ago. So same person who are working as manager, passing high school, intermediate, only now they are all bachelor holder, master holder, MBA holders. They are working on that side. And that manual job like carrying bora piche behind bag, now it is being nicely replaced by some of the devices of robotic type of arms actually. They are coming up in the factories and warehouses to do this job. Of course, in the local market, yet to populate, but a lot of small cranes are coming up, which are helping actually to load and load this kind of job. So focus shifted from more that was labor-oriented kind of things to some application of technology. Like say you go to the port. I remember number of cranes which are there to handle the containers. Most of them were earlier bottleneck. You were not allowing ship to work because there were no cranes available. But now only the problem comes because of condition on the port. Because we are not having a place to place the container. That is why the ship we are not allowed from the anchorage side to the berthing side. So the idea is that critical resources are not posing problem. Now, sometimes space, sometimes technology adoption, sometimes no training in different field, they are posing problems. And that is why we predicted that more number of people will require in the IoT, machine learning, automated devices, QR code generators, electronic interface, solving the problem of both soft and hard kind of skill sets, correct? Like in mobile, you see, we are very low on the operation. But how many parts are there in the mobile? What type of software and hardware connection there in mobile? None of them. It is better to use it through it. That is the most of things you are doing. But this one because inside things are not so simple. So similarly, we need more person who can simplify this also like you say car ka engine has to be. You can go in every village, in every small taluk also mechanic you can find who can repair a major car type of. But can they repair all this modern car also? No. So like this, we need more specialized, more organized kind of job market. That is why we are predicting by 2035, 1 crore more people will join this business.
Out of 15%.
Yes.
I think we have certain unique geographical constraints in our country. One arising, for example, transportation of any good to northeast area, where we have difficulties arising because of narrow chicken neck and now Bangladesh creating problems. And then for transportation of anything to Europe and beyond, because of choke point coming at Suez Canal and now government thinking of IMEC, how science and technology can help in solve these problems. And third thing which we have been facing right from 1947 is that the main reason why Britishers and Western powers are conspired to ensure that Kashmir remains a problem, because otherwise we'll have direct access to Central Asian countries. So how do you look at these geopolitical issues and how one can think that technology can solve it?
So what I know from the newspaper and some discussion with the people that I can share with you. First of all, have you been in Northeast? Sir? Have you been?
Yes, I have been to Northeast.
I was also there for 8 years. But what I see the current Northeast is very different than what I saw from 1998. Because Bogeyville Bridge now you can see there's a tunnel there. Road connectivity is there up to Leelabari, lights are going on now. Even up to Arunachal Pradesh, Itanagar, you can go by train now. So you can say northeastern connectivity has improved massively. So that difficult terrain, which was earlier no way connected, because once I remember, I told my wife, correct? Because this was there when we were working in Northeast. But now trains are going there also. Even Iowa also you have airstrip now, you can imagine. Sir. So Northeast is now almost getting better connectivity since you can say last 11, 12 years like it. And chicken neck that you mentioned that now if you see the number of services of the train, plane, other things have increased. There was a small agreement also with Bangladesh, but I think it may not.
I think Bangladesh is
not work. I know it may not work, but our own network is already there, sir. There was no problem at all, and we are maintaining that one as per the requirement of that region. Our things are moving. It is not like that they are halted because Bangladesh has stopped non-profits. Coming to that international trade, you said that already in G20 meeting last year,
yes.
They have this from Badhavan port directly to the and then Epa port. From Epa port, they have to again transfer the entire shipload of things to the rail, and then rail will go, then again it will go to the sea. So that way the Suez Canal problem, they wanted to handle by this processor, but there are a lot of difficulties there, like say, whole ship load is to be loaded on the rail. And then again, rail to there. So loading, unloading cost will be high. But suppose what happens, you are delaying by 20, 30 days. And you are paying slightly extra. So this option need to be realized. कि still you want to play in that कि भाई देर मजबूरी है 20 दिन पड़े रहो या थोड़ा ज्यादा दे के निकल जाओ. Correct. So these options are being weighted and accordingly the world community is thinking very closely, particularly G20 groups, etc., what to do. Because planning is process is going on. There is a strong group is working on this particular topic to see that how can we come down this cost by very easily lifting and loading the from ship to train and train to the. Correct. This is very good, big bottleneck, sir, but I think working on that. About Jammu and Kashmir, you see there is also a lot of improvement.
That is a big problem. That will not easily be manageable.
Because there are two warring countries there, sir, and that too also they have different interests.
Yes.
So उसके लिए शायद हम लोग के बाद में लोग सोचेंगे.
Thank you so much, sir, for a very interesting talk yet again. We are now request Professor Srikumar, Vice Chancellor HPNI, to present our guest with a souvenir as we open up our particular stage.
Ready?
Thank you so much, sir. As we move towards the end of the program, we are now request Sri Karina and Samu to deliver the motions.
Respected Chief Guest, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Grover sir, the Dean HBNI, distinguished guests, esteemed faculty members, dear students, staff members, and all well-wishers of HBNI. A very good afternoon to all of you. It is my privilege and honor as the Registrar of HBNI to deliver the vote of thanks on this momentous occasion, the Srikumar Banerjee Memorial Program. Today, we have had the unique pleasure of witnessing an intellectual disclosure that reflects the very spirit of scientific inquiry and innovation that Dr. Srikumar Banerjee himself embodied throughout his illustrious life. I extend our deepest gratitude to our distinguished chief guest, Professor Manoj Kumar Tiwari sir, for gracing us with his presence and delivering a thoughtful, thought-provoking and insightful lecture on logistics, science and technology. Sir, your reflections on the evolving dynamics of logistics from supply chain resilience to the transformative power of digital technologies like PM Gati Shakti National Master Plan and etc. and your insights into the evolving landscape of logistics from automation like AI/ML, IoT, data analytics, cloud computing, etc. to sustainability and global connectivity have broadened our understanding and inspired us to reimagine how knowledge and technology can shape our world. Thank you very much, sir, for sharing your valuable time, expertise, and vision with us. I would also like to thank our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor U. Kamachi Murli, sir, for your continued guidance and leadership in supporting events like this that upholds academic excellence and meaningful dialogue. A sincere thanks to Professor Tyagi sir for delivering such a warm and thoughtful welcome address. Your words beautifully set the tone for this program and reminded us of the relevance of Dr. Srikumar Banerjee's legacy in advancing scientific and technological progress. A heartfelt thanks to the organizing committee for meticulously planning and executing this event. Finally, thank you all the attendees, the distinguished guests, alumni, member of the academic community, staff member for being part of this gathering. Your presence makes our effort worthwhile and our vision shared. Let us take forward the insights gained today with the renewed knowledge and continue working towards the transformative future that pioneers like Dr. Srikumar Banerjee envisioned. Thank you all once again. Jai Hind. I would also like to mention, I did not mention that Professor Srikumar Tiwari is our academic council member, and he provides a lot of value addition to us with respect to the academic queries, and he's a very helping person. He is going to also help us with respect to our agreement. And Professor Manoj Tiwari got his second term extended in February 25, so he'll be IIM Mumbai director till 2030 February. And I think HPNA will get definitely benefited with this. Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you, Malak.